about 2.5 weeks after I left the clinic, those 2.5 weeks were really, nobody knew I left the clinic except for the pro-lifers I had gone to, and they had kept it very quiet. And then my family. Nobody else knew. It wasn't public yet. The story had not broken to the AP or anything like that. And so I was able just to really sit and be quiet and try to listen to God's voice, because I'd blocked him out for so long. So I was having to relearn how to do that. And one night, it was late. I don't know. It's probably 10 o'clock, and we were still in a 40 Days for Life campaign. And I had just gotten out of the shower, and my hair's wet, and I have like my yoga pants on and a t-shirt, and I felt like God was really prompting me to go out to the clinic to pray, which was something I never thought I would do. I was not going to be one of those pro-lifers, crazy nut jobs. I was not going to do that, but I really felt like he was prompting me to go. So I thought, okay, well, 10 o'clock at night, probably one guy out there, so it's fine. So I went downstairs, and Doug was in the living room, and I said, you may think this is crazy, but I'm going to go out to the clinic now. And he said, are you going to vandalize it? Which was just, that was me back before. And I was like, no, I'm going to pray at the clinic. And he's like, oh, well, I don't think that's crazy at all. Like, I knew eventually you would want to go and do that. I'm like, well, that's funny, because I didn't know that. So I got in my car and I went out there. I was very nervous to go and to have to face my sin like that, to face that clinic. And there was a couple there, a young college couple. And I thought, do I tell them who I am? I mean, they might recognize me. I recognize them, from being out there. And so I thought, they may recognize me, and I don't want them to freak out and think I'm coming to do something shady. So I went up to them, and I told them who I was. And I said, I used to be the director of this clinic, but a couple weeks ago I left. And I'm now pro-life, and I've been working with the Coalition for Life, and this is the first time I've ever been out here to pray. And I didn't want to pray with them. I just wanted them to know. They were just thrilled, like hugging me and squealing and like so excited. And I just said, okay, well, I'm gonna go stand over here and pray. So I walked away from them, walked to the other side of the grassy area, and I just remember looking at that clinic. It looked very different from that perspective, and I just, as I was staring at that building and standing there, and I just remember just falling to my knees. I mean, I was just crying, and facing that for the first time was very difficult. And I remember briefly looking over at the couple, and they were still like jumping up and down and hugging each other and like turning in little circles. And I mean, they were having this praise festival over there, just the two of them, this little Thanksgiving dance over there. And just the contrast of their life and mine at that moment. You know, they were just thanking God that I was out, and I was just pouring myself before God, just feeling this sorrow, really for the first time. But I remember just, it felt like quickly, I just closed my eyes and it just felt like I was there by myself. I couldn't hear, it's a busy road. It just became silent. I didn't hear cars passing. I didn't hear them anymore. It was just this moment with just me and just God. And I think that was really when healing began for me. That was really the first time that I had felt that intimate connection with God in so many years.